folks, and welcome to Friday's edition of Magoo Sports News. I am, as always, Magoo, and this is the weekend preview show. So you might have thought there wasn't too much in the way of sport this week, but I can guarantee you there was plenty to talk about. So let's have a look. So folks, what happened this week? Well, most of it actually happened on Monday, but we'll have a wee cast back and have a look. Firstly was the Swansea versus Reading game, the so-called £90 million game, and Swansea came away with the spoils. They beat Reading 4-2. Now, it was a very good game actually, lots of goals, lots of twists and lots of action. Reading came out firing on all cylinders and looked like they were going to take the lead, but a penalty claim went unheard. Essentially, then it became the Scott Sinclair match. Basically, he scored a quick double to put them 2-0 up, and then they went 3-0 up for half-time, looking like the game's pretty much all over, but then Reading came out the second half and just went for it. Scored a couple of goals, took it back to 3-2, you're thinking, great, this is going to be an absolutely amazing finale. And then basically Swansea scored a fourth goal to seal the win. So they go up to the Premiership and all the spoils that comes with that. So good on Swansea. Also FIFA still in the news. We're hearing about what's going on. Now, against the wishes of the Football Association and the Scottish Football Association, FIFA went ahead with their election. I mean, they call it an election, but there was only one guy. The main opposition dude was suspended, so come on, like, if this doesn't scream corruption, then I don't know what does. I don't know. I mean, Bladder also now is making a big song and dance about, oh, we're going to steer the ship in the right way and be more transparent, blah, 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 blah. I mean, why does he need to make a song and dance about it so much? Surely that should be second nature. They should be completely above board with everything. But we don't know what goes on with these guys. The funny thing is also that he seems to have got Henry Kissinger as their sort of main man to steer the ship correctly. Now, I mean, if I can remember correctly, Henry Kissinger surely was Mr. So it brought another corrupt guy in to steer a corrupt organisation. It just goes from bad to worse with these guys. Now, I will say one thing. I think the Football Association did the right thing by abstaining from the vote. I think the Football Association are up to no... Well, I say up to no good, are basically looking to find out some alternative organisation. Maybe casting a few lines out to see who's interested. Keep an eye on it. I hope we get rid of FIFA. Mark Hughes resigned as Fulham manager. Bit strange this one. He must be looking at a better job, maybe a bigger club or something, but we'll keep an eye on that one, see what happens. Also, Sam Allardyce was appointed as West Ham manager. I think that was a great appointment. Sam Allardyce, he's experienced, he can bring teams out of the Championship. I think that's a very good news for West Ham fans. And so, into the tennis. What happened with the tennis? Well, Andy Murray had a couple of games and he won them. He's through to the semi-finals. But if you watch the game, you may be asking yourself, how on earth did he do it? The match against Viktor Troicki, what an absolutely amazing game. Andy Murray came out. He was 5-0 down before you could blink your eyes, looking like he was playing the worst tennis of his life. Now, we've seen this quite a few times from Andy Murray. He's a slow starter, but then he went 2-0 down, and he even was a breakdown in the third set. So, you're thinking, Andy Murray, he's out, that's him finished. But I don't know how this guy does it. He basically just stops throwing all his toys out the pram, picks himself up and starts playing good tennis again. He came back, got it back to 2 sets all, and bad light stopped play. So they came back the next day in a 1-set decider. And again, Andy Murray just seems to be so slow out of the blocks. Goes a break down, 5-2 down. Your man is 30-love up, serving for the match. And somehow Andy Murray pulls it out of the bag. He wins the next 6 games. Wins the next 5 games on the trot. Viktor Troicki, in fair enough, he kind of bottled it, but still, good on Andy Murray, through to the next round. Played when Juan Ignacio Chela beat him in 3 sets, Again, a little bit of a slow start. He went, I think, 4-0 down and came back to win the set 7-6. So he plays Rafa Nadal next. All top 4 seeds made it through the semi-finals, which is the first time since 2006, but it's good to see 1, 2, 3 and 4 play in the semi-finals. Now onto the cricket, and England pulled off one of the greatest victories ever. Remember I mentioned this on my show on Monday? Looking like it's going to be a draw, pretty much all rained out, and England put Sri Lanka into bat needing 91 runs to win. No, sorry, 91 runs to sort of continue the game, and they totally bottled it. They were 33 for 2 at tea, which is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 4 more hours left to play in this whole game. All they had to do was just stay at the crease, and they lost all their wickets for about 60 runs, and England won. Unbelievable. On to the Super League, and essentially Hull got beaten by Wigan 40 points to 6, which basically means that Wigan are level on points with Warrington and I think also Huddersfield, but they have a game in hand, so at the top of the Super League looking very tight, and that's all the sport. So folks, what have we got coming up this week? And there is loads of sport coming up this weekend. It's a fabulous weekend. You may be thinking to yourself, but the Football League's finished, Magoo. You don't know what you're talking about. Of course I know what I'm talking about. This is why I do my show. So the football, we've got the international qualifiers, Euro 2012. The only really 2 ones to mention is England take on Switzerland at home. I think England will win that one quite comfortably. And the Republic of Ireland are away to Macedonia. Tricky game. Macedonians a long way away, and it's going to be quite warm there as well, so might struggle a little bit, Republic of Ireland, but they should maybe scrape a 1-0 victory. In the tennis, semi-finals are on today being Friday of course. Watch out, it's Andy Murray versus Rafa Nadal and Novak Djokovic against Roger Federer. You couldn't ask for a better semi-final. This is the second major of the year, so it's hugely important. In the cricket, the second test, I wouldn't have mentioned the cricket actually, but since the first test was so exciting, the second test hopefully can be half as exciting. It's going to be great. That's at Lord's. Kicks off today, goes on till Tuesday, so keep an eye out for the scores. Might be as an exciting end as the one last week. In the golf, we've got Welsh Open in the European Tour, and also the Memorial Tournament, which is in the US. Basically that's in Dublin, Ohio, and Rory McIlroy's doing well. He's the day 1 leader. Keep an eye out for that. These tournaments are kind of like the build up for the US Open, which starts in a couple of weeks. And in the Rugby League, there's a full fixture list of the Super League. The big one is St Helens against Leeds. Now this is 4th versus 5th. These guys are sort of up there, vying for the title, vying for that top 4 finish. Also, Warrington play the Crusaders. Should be a good game. Watch out for that one. So folks, I want to mention a little bit about the transfer activity that's going on. Not a huge amount, but it's maybe worth mentioning a couple of things. Bayern Munich signed the goalkeeper Neuer. Now obviously there was a lot of English clubs linked to this guy. He is an amazing goalkeeper, but Bayern snapped him up. Neuer said he wanted to stay in Germany, so fair enough. Samir Nasri is a big talking point at the moment. He is obviously Arsenal's sort of central midfielder that if Cesc Fabregas goes, Samir Nasri is going to take over the mantle, but he's only got 12 months left on his contract. Wenger's trying to sign him for longer. He's stalling a little bit. There's even rumour that Man United are after him. Ooh, it's going to be interesting, that one. Michael Owen signs a new 1-year deal for Man United. That was kind of expected. I mean, he's kind of surplus to requirements, but it's good to have him there as a backup. Romelu Lukaku. Now, this is a Belgian youngster who is amazing. He was top scorer in the Belgian league, not last season, but the season before, at 16 years old. Had a bit of an injury hit season this year, but he's like so young and can bang the goals in. Looking like Chelsea are going to sign him, but a lot of people are wanting to sign this guy. Keep an eye on that one as well. So folks, the pop quiz. Yeah, I've still got the beard. I just can't bring myself to shave it off. It kinda, I don't know, keeping me warm for the summertime. That's a bit weird. Anyway, this week's pop quiz. If you get it right, I will definitely shave my beard. But you have to get it right first time. So, what's the pop quiz? Who's this guy? If you recognise that guy, I want you to tell me what was his greatest achievement in tennis. And if you can get that right, the beard comes off. So on to my user comments section, folks, and only one real user comment in there that I want to touch on. It comes from Boom, and this gentleman says, if a woman is good enough at football, should she play for a professional team? Now, there are professional women's teams, so what I'm assuming you're saying is if she's good enough or better than men, should she play for a men's football team? He says yes. I unfortunately disagree. I think that with team sports, it's gonna be so difficult for a woman to integrate into a men's team. Not only that, but all the social and cultural implications there are. I mean, it just wouldn't mix. Football was started to be a men's sport. Women came along later. Fair enough, women have a professional football league. That's great. But men don't want women in a football team. It's just the way that the sport was formed. I'm not sexist or anything. I mean, for other sports, for individual sports, I think it's great. For example, in golf, there are a few women that actually play on the men's PGA. I mean, this was a huge stushy. All these old school sexist males in America were going, oh no, we can't have women playing on our golf circuit. But they also said black people couldn't play on their golf circuit. And look what happened with Tiger Woods. So I think women shouldn't play with men's football, but if it's an individual sport, hey, go for it. So folks, that's all we've got time for today. There is plenty of sport on at the weekend, so get off and watch all that. Don't forget, any user comments, anything you want to mention, have a little write down below. I have to give a wee mention to my brother Barb. Yep. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday to you. Hope you enjoy your day. So I'm off to watch all the sport that's on just now. I'll see you guys on Monday, and we'll talk about all the sporting action.